Welcome to Stock Markets with KR. We're here with Anosh, and today we're going to do the Market Chronicles analysis. We're going to talk about a few charts. Anosh, are you excited about this? We're looking at charts today. We have a fancy background
I'm
behind
so
us.
excited to be here. It's always great to be on YouTube.
Yes, same. And this one's in
Yeah.
collaboration with the Financial Pandora. All the relevant links and everything, including a bunch of resources, are there in the description. So make sure you check that out. And without any further ado, Anush, how about you share your screen? That'll be super fun.
Sure. All right, so let's look at the Nifty chart, which we can see is at an all-time high. This was at an all-time high, and we are just kissing the 1.618 fib extension of the March 2020 crash, which fell from about 12,400 to 7,500. Served as resistance once in mid-Feb, around 16th of Feb is when Nifty made a top. Since then, we witnessed a sort of time correction, post which this recent rally brought us back to the all-time high. If we see the same thing on the daily chart, we see that Nifty's and it has already broken out on a closing basis, and we can expect further up move from here. Looking at Bank Nifty, which is one of the major driving forces of the Nifty itself because of its weightage of its constituents, we see that after a brief dip below COVID high, the index managed to sustain above that, and then last week made a strong, powerful. This is the relative strength chart with the Nifty, and we can see it is constantly and bouncing off this level where it is finding support. So as long as that support is held, we can be of Bank Nifty leadership in the run. This is Bank Nifty chart, and in the short term, we're looking at 30,000, 34,000 as a very crucial level to trade to maintain our bullish bias in this counter. These are the broad market Nifty Mid Cap 100, Nifty Small Cap 100, and Nifty 500. As we can see, these were in as much of a price correction mode as the Nifty was, and they were more sideways than downward. Of course, now all of these have broken out of these sideways corrections and are headed higher. If we look at them on a relative basis, that is the ratios with Nifty, we can see that all these base breakouts solid form, and they've not even retested the breakout levels, which tells us that there is a strength in the broad market compared to the Nifty itself. And this is clearly seen in this chart. So since Feb 16th, when Nifty made a top, the small cap index has given 15.83% returns. Mid caps have given 10.74%, and Nifty 500 has given 3.9%, all outperforming the Nifty in this corrective period. Lastly, talk about the India VIX, which is a volatility measure. We can see that if we plot regression channel deception, this is the standard deviation level. So 3, 2, 1. This is the long-term mean, and this is minus. If you look at this latest candle, this is the first time since February of 2020, so around year, that we've actually been below this mean level on a closing basis. So that kind of tells us that volatility is now subdued, uncertainty and fears have kind of ebbed away, and it should be smooth sailing now. I'll hand it over to KR to talk about the Nifty heavyweights and the open interest data.
Great. So I'll just share my screen as well. Sorry for the interruption. My laptop decided that it had enough of charts and enough of finance nerd stuff, so it just shut down. But we're back. This is Reliance. We're back to Reliance and back to the big daddy of the Indian markets. So right now the thing with Reliance is that it likes to move only on certain days, and the momentum doesn't always carry forward. So we can see there have been plenty of occasions where we've seen a couple of good high momentum positive candles, but after that it's really died down, right? 200 MA breach, 50 MA breach, all that is great, but we need to see whether it's able to respect these levels. So first level 2080, it's a support for Reliance. If that is held, then theek hai. Otherwise, we might just see it going nowhere, coming down, retesting 2000. It's always been like that. We've seen positive candles here, we've seen positive candles here, but it really depends. And possibly if there's some additional news based trigger, then it might help. So Reliance, it's good. It's positive right now. 2100 levels were tested but rejected. So let's see how it goes. It's of course one of the main reasons why Nifty was able to hit all-time high, one of the biggest, highest weighted stocks. Next is HDFC Bank. So it's bounced up from this level, right? This has been a level for a long time here. We can see since this, it's basically been consolidating within this range, but now that it's bounced up, it's good. Above 1500 as well, which is good. The only problem is that this zone here, this zone, I think it's 1520 or so, which has a history of acting up. So breaching that might be very important. On the RSI front, also, it's not at 60 just quite yet. It is approaching 60, I think. So maybe after that, some additional momentum can come in. Overall, there's a very interesting thing here. We can see higher lows, lower highs being formed. This might just be the start of a higher high, right? This has been breached, of course. So I think a sustained, close or trade above this level here might just indicate that we see some fresh bullishness in terms of sentiments and such for HDFC Bank. Coming to Infosys. Infosys is a very interesting candle. Okay, this particular setup has happened many times with Infosys because we see a spinning top. Next day, it's within that range, right? So typically, when it breaches the high of that spinning top candle, or when it breaches the low, that's when we see the bigger move happening. So I think Infosys is a good, potential stock to look at. But then it really depends. It might just consolidate within this range for the next few days, or it might break out on Monday. So it's not very decisive, I'd call it. 1400 levels held, that's a good sign. But let's see how it goes. I think breaching Thursday's high is going to be crucial. Again, RSI 60 up, which is good. Then next, coming to HDFC. So HDFC is very interesting, I feel, because this 2600 and 2580 ka zone has been very, very strong from a resistance point of view. And breaching that is really, the most important task for HDFC. So as of now, it has been able to, right? It has been able to in the past, somewhere here. But then that price rejection always happens. So I think holding 2500 is a positive sign from a sentiments point of view. Previously, it hasn't been able to do so. So we're seeing almost higher lows being formed. So, with that being said, possibly some headwinds might be there, but then there is a chance of a strong move above these two thick blue lines. Uske upar shayad kuch ho sakta hai. Below that, I'm not quite sure of what might happen. It's a very laggardly stock we've seen. It's been consolidating very narrow since quite some time. Coming to ICICI Bank, I think this is one such stock which has outperformed Bank Nifty, I think. It's almost near its high. Bank Nifty is still somewhere chilling here. And it appears to be there's some profit booking or something happening here. Maybe RSI at 60, it's pulled back. I'm not quite sure what the extent of this pullback might be. For all we know, it just bounces up on Monday or not. So ICICI Bank also does not look very decisive to me as of now, but it has formed those higher highs and higher lows, which is a good sign, especially after this post Feb dry spell of sorts for banks from a bullish point of view. Then coming next, Kotak Mahindra Bank. This is an important stock, I feel, because it's Kotak Bank has a history of not really performing in line with Bank Nifty, and Nosh will elaborate more on Kotak Bank as a trade in some time. But Kotak Bank, we can see there's been a trend line breakout of sorts. It's also broken above its 50 moving average. This cluster zone of sorts has been breached, and generally after Bank Nifty has made its move, that is when Kotak Bank really starts. That's when it wakes up. So it's got that habit. So let's see if it holds up to that habit of it's now as well. So coming to the sectors, right? This is just a quick overview on TradingView, just to see what sectors did the best this past week and the worst. I think utilities have had a fantastic month up till now. So that's naturally why we saw some profit booking in the past week. We're seeing it closing negative. And the top performing ones, we're seeing consumer services, energy, minerals, transport, all these. I think consumer services has also had a good month, which is good. And overall, I think there are some Very interesting sector. So how you can use this, you could possibly look at the component stocks of these and understand what's going on and such. And the best performing sector for the month, we'll just see drum rolls. It's been utilities, as I just said, had a great month and a little profit booking perhaps. Worst sector, communications, looks like just minus 1.79%. Even though the market was not that bullish, we're seeing most of the sectors doing fine. I think that's, Anush, one observation you shared on your Twitter as well. Portfolio stocks are chilling, they're doing fine. Nifty, I don't know what it's doing. So pretty interesting to see that happening. I mean, you can just go on trading, you can check these out, right? You can play around with these. But anyway, Anush, how about you share some very interesting trades with us?
Yes, I think that's what our viewers will really love to
Yeah.
see. And as Krunal and I were talking today afternoon, that's what we typically do, discuss some good trade ideas on the weekends. We came up with a few that we'd really love to share with our viewers right now. One of them, the first one is a little controversial because it is a PSU, and not many people believe in the PSU bullish theses to begin with. But this is the Bale chart, and what we are seeing here is a nice strong up move followed by a low volume consolidation in this zone. As we've written, we see strength about 75 and a half. I think we think stops can be placed below 65, which is the anchored VWAP from the beginning of this up move, and we're gunning for a target of 100 plus. So that is Bale for you. Moving on to iPru, we see a very lovely retest of the breakout from the previous all-time high belt. It's formed a nice candle after rejecting these lows, and we see it extending to 722 in the medium term. Stop loss, of course, has to be below 520, which is the week's low, and a target of 722. Coming to the next one, which is Grasim, a very, very strong mover. Classic uptrend, very almost unblemished by any sort of deep correction. This is the weekly chart, of course, showing how it's consolidating above its old all-time high near around 1300. And this is the daily chart showing what we're looking at. We'd like to see this at around 1860. That's our target. And we'll place our stops below 1400.
Right.
Lastly, we're looking at Kotak Bank, as Krunal said, very interesting bank, always moves with a slight delay to Bank Nifty, never the leader. But nonetheless, we see it doing well. It's trading above this very important AV WAP from the recent swing high. We also think there is some resistance at around 1860, so that is something we should be aware about. There's a very tiny stop here of about 1750, and we see 2000 levels coming soon.
Interesting. Good. So there's a little quiz here that I want to ask people. It's not a trick question. It's just a quiz. There's a certain pattern that's being formed in one of the charts. So you need to let us know in the comments, and that'll be damn cool. There's a certain you haven't mentioned the pattern, right? Don't mention.
I have not. No.
That's cool. Nice. That pattern's name might be there on Anush's Twitter, or it might be there on my Twitter. Anush, definitely check his Twitter out, by the way. Tons and tons of charts, crazy stuff. So at Anush Modi, Modyy is his Twitter. So you can check that out for a lot more insight on stocks and just all sorts of crazy charts, RNS charts and everything. So yeah, Anush, would you like to say anything else?
Yeah, Krunal, thanks for this lovely opportunity. It's always great to be on your YouTube channel. Super fun and super interactive. And I hope us being here is really helping the viewers place trades, do well in the markets in general. Aside from that, I think the markets have been very, very kind to us traders, at least to the bullish traders over the last entire year, in fact. And in that respect, I have been involved with a social initiative called the Bombay Feeding Project, which was started by my friend Aman Bansali. Him and I are batchmates in MBA at NMIMS just now. And in the lockdown, when the lockdown was announced, that's around April, Aman went out feeding a few street kids vada pavs and all. And they really wanted him to come on a regular basis because with things being as they are, they couldn't really sustain for themselves, and like just even survival was a pain. So now Aman started providing them full meals on a daily basis. And what started at around 50 slowly grew and scaled up to 90 to 100 meals a day. Day before yesterday, Bombay Feeding Project completed 5,000 meals. So that's one very big thing that we've accomplished in this lockdown. We've managed to feed 5,000 hungry children and adults. This
Wow.
typically happens at Juhu Depot near Ramada, and that's
Okay.
somewhere I visit every day to distribute about 90 to 100 meals. Sometimes
Wow.
I'm also joined by a few friends and well wishers. And this has been thanks to the contributions of over 200 people who've been very generously donating to this cause. I just like to show the viewers our Instagram page, and hopefully they can go hit the like button, show some support there, maybe financially, maybe if they want to join our cause, they can shoot us a DM.
Yeah.
These are just a few of the snaps that we click with the children after distributing the meals. These are a few funny filters from our phones. And these kids are really all enthused about us visiting every day. So, and they love to see us. The moment we drive in, they kind of waving and gathering around the car because they know they're getting food.
Wow.
So yeah, you can see a lot of happy faces, smiles, etc. And yeah,
Wow.
I mean, it's been a really fulfilling experience. And I think if our viewers would like to be a part of this cause, show their support. Of course, it's not possible for everyone to step out during this time. We understand, but there are other ways to extend support as well. So
Right.
guys, everyone viewing this, please do go and check out Bombay Feeding Project on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and do hit the like button for sure. Also, this is
Yes.
our link.
Yeah.
That's it. Thank you
So
so much, Pranal.
thanks, Anush. Honestly, so I'll just talk about BFP too. And the thing is, I don't normally, endorse or talk about NGOs because we never know what's going on behind the scenes. We never know what management fees people may apply and such. But
Right.
BFP, I've personally seen you all guys doing this. I have spoken to Aman. I've spoken to you obviously multiple times, and I've also donated. So I also believe in this cause, and that's why I feel everyone should at least take a look, because this is not some fancy white collar NGO saying that they're doing all these things. This is actually you guys going out and giving meals, which is great. So I think it's
Yeah,
a
so
great initiative.
good you mentioned this, Kunal, and of course you are one of our very generous donors as well. What we believe in is that every single penny that people donate should translate directly into feeding the people. There are none of our costs, none of our expenses are taken out of that, and that's how you said typically it is with a lot of NGOs. That is something we detest, and we keep it as direct as possible. We're also very transparent. So every day, or at least every couple of days, we put out an update saying that this is the number of meals that were handed out. And we even give a record to the donors with whose money these meals were taken out. So there's a sense of comfort among everyone. And people have, the response has been absolutely incredible. We've collected north of 3.5 lakhs in donations so
Wow.
far. And we believe in a month that is a huge, huge trust that people have placed in us. And we're very, very grateful for that. So
Definitely.
yeah, thanks. Thank you so much for your words.
Thanks for taking the effort and initiative. Honestly, it's been crazy. I follow you guys on Insta, and I've been seeing their updates. They're really nice. So I
Yeah,
mean, again, no pressure as such, but we're talking about food and children and making them happy and making actually changing lives. So do check it out if you want to. I know it changes the topic a little, but it's important, right? In these testing times, I think we should talk about important issues. So yeah, thanks a lot, and make sure you check the description. It will have everything that we spoke about here and many more resources, and of course the link for Bombay Feeding Project. So thanks a lot, Anush. I really appreciate it. We'll have these sessions much more frequently, hopefully.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Awesome.
Cool. Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye and take care, everyone. Happy trading.
Happy trading.
Yeah.